Going live. Cue music. And hello everyone, I'm Dan Lutz and I'm here on the front lines and the battle against the deep state, the cabal, the Illuminonkeys, and all those that wish to enslave all of humanity for their own selfish reasons. How are you doing today? Well, we're continuing with our ongoing change of narrative, right? Because obviously the con job 19 has left the headlines. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? What is everyone talking about? Riots, riots, riots. And we've been discussing George Floyd and his relationship with Derek, the accused police officer of killing him, which I think everything is in doubt. Now, if George Floyd family have lost their beloved friend or family member, I do have sympathies for you. I don't want to go and add to any pain in this situation, but we have fake media. We have different clown assets that have been controlling the population for a long time. They use these type of events to steer the narrative. And though I really don't want to add to any sorrows that you have, but in discussing these things, we have to look at all different parts, and we're going to dig in even deeper than we have because the narrative's changed, right? But this is only temporary because we've identified it from the very beginning, as soon as it happened. Derek is, not the same photo that we see in the when they see his mugshot. Who is that guy? It's not the same guy that has neon on him. And he's fired. And by the way, where is his arrest record? Remember I said we need to check into his arrests? Well, we're going to look at that too. But before we get into that, first of all, I want to basically bring up Parler. Now, I've been focused on getting Parler up and running, right? So that people would be able to have access. Instead of using tweeting, I'm using Parler. I have gained an additional 3 followers from yesterday. Thank you very much. So I do appreciate that. But I would like to have many more. And I have posted my last 3 videos here, and I'm going to continue to post them. And anything you can do to help boost this, I would appreciate. Again, the information is down below. It's the first link. Please come on over, set up a Parler account. I don't think we're going to have Twitter much longer. I really think that they're going to crack down. They don't care what executive order Trump made. All right, they don't care. Right, this is a war. Right, they are going to basically do whatever they can to make sure that they unseat him, and we haven't even seen the beginning of what they're going to do. We're not even close to when the election is going to happen. As soon as October rolls around, that's when it's going to get really intense. And you can see mass banning that's going to occur. Complete shutdowns are going to occur on social media. If we are over on these other alternatives, MeWe, I was looking at, I set up an account a little while ago for MeWe. That's a Facebook clone. And then Parler, which is the reason why I'm going with Parler, is Dan Bongino is one of the generals on the front line. Dan Bongino's show is fantastic at digging into what's actually going on. He's ahead of the curve on all the information, sometimes months. And it eventually all rolls back around to where Dan Bongino was. He is supporting Parler. They're having large upticks in number over there. Let's participate where our energies are welcome. Please go to Parler and try that out. So again, let me go ahead and flip this back over to here. Now, to get started, before we get into off into the George Floyd incident, let's talk about where Trump is right today. Trump is at the is at NASA, and he's talking about our first astronauts making it into space in such a very long time, probably since the Challenger accident, right? So since we've actually had this, I think we've had people on this International Space Station and things as well, but to send up our astronauts, and they're looking really cool in their new outfits and everything, but Trump is here. Now, before he gets into his speech, he talks about what's going on in the country. And so I'm going to want to go through a little bit of this with you before we get into some other things, just to see he's setting the stage as to what is going to happen. So let's start here.
Before going further on this exciting day for all America in space, I want to say a few words about the situation in Minnesota. The death of George Floyd on the streets of Minneapolis was a grave tragedy. It should never have happened. It has filled Americans all over the country with horror, anger, and grief. Yesterday, I spoke to George's family and expressed the sorrow of our entire nation for their loss. I stand before you as a friend and ally to every American seeking justice and peace. And I stand before you in firm opposition to anyone exploiting this tragedy to loot, rob, attack, and menace.
So here's where he's going to actually say, what is our mission? Let's listen to this.
Healing, not hatred, justice, not chaos, are the mission at hand. The police officers involved in this incident have been fired from their jobs. One officer has already been arrested and charged with murder. State and federal authorities are carrying out an investigation to see what further charges may be warranted, including against, sadly, the other three. In addition, my administration has opened a civil rights investigation, and I have asked the Attorney General and the Justice Department to expedite it. I understand the pain that people are feeling. We support the right of peaceful protesters, and we hear their pleas. But what we are now seeing on the streets of our cities has nothing to do with justice or with peace. The memory of George Floyd is being dishonored by rioters, looters, and anarchists.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Rioters, looters, and anarchists. So right there, he's literally laying out what is actually going on and what we need to really pay attention to here. So let me realign this for a moment here. The narrative shift is specifically designed, right, to get us on a new topic of their agenda, which is what? Race riots. That's what they want. They want the blacks to rise up, they want the whites to rise up, and they are putting people in place to make that happen. And we're going to get into some of those things, but you want to show that Trump is on the ball. He is basically ready right now, right? He's ready to basically squash this wherever it's going to happen. Let's listen on.
The violence and vandalism is being led by Antifa and other radical left-wing groups who are terrorizing the innocent, destroying jobs, hurting businesses, and burning down buildings. The main victims of this horrible, horrible situations are the citizens who live in these once lovely communities.
So the victims are the same victims as in the con job 19, the China virus. Same victims, the people, small business owners. The people are going to be in a position, you know, to lose everything when rioters come in and break into their locations and tell people to come and take their stuff. And we're going to look at that, right? So just getting prepared here. Let's continue on.
The mobs are devastating the life's work of good people and destroying their dreams. Right now, America needs creation, not destruction. Cooperation, not contempt. Security, not anarchy, and there will be no anarchy. Civilization must be cherished, defended, and protected. The voices of law-abiding citizens must be heard, and heard very loudly. We cannot and must not allow a small group of criminals and vandals to wreck our cities and lay waste to our communities. We must defend the rights of every citizen to live without violence, prejudice, or fear. We support the overwhelming majority of police officers who are incredible in every way and devoted public servants. They keep our cities safe, protect our communities from gangs and drugs, and risk their own lives for us every day. No one is more upset than fellow law enforcement officers by the small handful who fail to abide by their oath to serve and protect.
The small handful that's failing to abide by their oath and to serve and protect. Police officers, a small group. So let's dive into this a little bit. So if you remember, we covered this yesterday. We have the guy that was out there breaking windows, right? Let's see. Is that on this one? Yes. No, this is not the breaking windows one. So this, we've got these all lined up here, but maybe it's down this end. No. Sorry. I'm going the wrong way here. Yes. Okay. It's these right here. So this, we saw the guy with the umbrella, all wearing black. Antifa sign, right? All wearing black. This was cut. We're going to play it again. So, person in this video is a police officer, Jacob Peterson of St. Paul Police Department, according to his ex-wife, who identified him. The video, Peterson started smashing windows and started a riot in South Minneapolis. After being confronted by people, he fled the scene. See, that woman goes up to say, "What are you doing? Stop that." But he keeps going, right? And someone else comes up and says, what are you doing? See, now he's fleeing. Yeah, he doesn't like being videoed, huh? All right, there we go. Well, let's go on to this one. See what it says here on this door. All right, free SHIT. Look who's back here with the umbrella and the gas mask. We'll start this from the beginning.
My first time happened to me. It feels really hard to breathe. The first time, it's hard to breathe. You just have to take your time. You have to take your time. Basically, that's about it. You just have to take your time. Took me about a few minutes. It's like really fucked up. Really bad.
So why are they standing at this door and with this now sign up here? What are they trying to do? They're trying to get people to go in and take stuff. They're instigating riots. And this is this police officer. So there's a small band not abiding by their oath. So let's go back over onto this side for a minute. Let's see this again. So we're going to look more again at other things that people are pointing out about what happened to George Floyd. People jumping out of the back of the ambulance to put George Floyd on a stretcher weren't EMTs. They were cops in bulletproof vests. Why were cops in an ambulance? Where are the EMTs? People also pointed out that that car has 322 on it, which is of course Skull and Bones. You know, they're showing off there with their symbolism. Now this audio is pretty low. I can't even hear it, but where's the EMTs? He says it's a sham. Okay, let's go on to his one. This is someone from the other side.
Net. But where is the people that was taking the footage from over at the corner?
Circulated video.
Nobody there. There you go. Nobody over here taking the fucking footage. Where was all that people that said, come off his neck, check if he got a pulse, oh, he dying, his nose bleeding. Where is the people now? I told you it's a hoax. Where is the people that was there touting the police officers to get off him? Where they at? Where's the ones that take the video? Come on.
There's a Floyd pinned on the ground.
There you go. Nobody there, people. Nobody.
So I would like to also point out, this guy on the left-hand side, we'll go back a little bit. Does he look anything like this guy that's standing right here? This guy? Do they look the same? This guy is kind of Asian looking. See if we get a better shot of him. There it. So they don't look anything alike. This is an older gentleman. Oh,
Come on.
There's a Floyd pinned on the
There you
ground.
go. Nobody there, people. Nobody. I already told you. The first thing I asked, why the person with the camera didn't come around so we can see it from the next angle where we can see his whole body. And there you go. We get UFO style. I told you. They listen to the mag videos. Pay attention.
Circulated
right
video.
What
Three
they're
officers.
gonna do about this now, people?
So obviously, this is not the same scene. It's not the same scene. I wish they could see if that car was the same number there. Kind of hard to read that. Not the same scene. That means it was staged again. We saw in the video I did a couple days ago where they were actually in two different locations from where they picked him up out of the car, and they moved down the street a little bit. For what reason? So there is something that is completely wrong with this picture. As it says right here, it's a setup. We have a Qanon. So this is this also is showing something very unique, that we have two different scenes. Obviously, one take was not good enough. They had to do a second take. So let's look at bookings for our friend here, Derek Chauvin. Sorry, there's no results for this search. So, remember the first day I said we need to ask questions about this cop. What is his history? What is his arrest records? Nothing. Minnesota bookings. Thank you for Alice Down the Rabbit Hole, which is one of my favorites now. So, here on Before It's News, why are all the riots in cities with Democrats? Interesting question, isn't it? Look at the mayor here. I just wonder, really, you voted for this person? You voted for this one? It's just amazing. Anyway, they're saying that everyone here is a Democrat, right? Oh, there's one Republican in this section. All right, under Bakersfield. I guess it was a token. Move on. Antifa and Black Lives Matter killed their first cop as over 7,500 rioters swarmed the streets of Oakland in a bloodlust frenzy of rage and violence. So, this is the goal, right? This is what they want. They want there to be this uprising. George Soros has been, there's even a quote from him saying that that's his goal, is to take down America using race riots. Absolute chaos. Protesters dragged police in streets, knocked down White House security barriers. This is also talking about that there is possibly explosives have been planted inside the White House by Obama. Now, I have no idea about this, but if you read through this, it's what it talks about, and that this was some sort of leading up to where the protesters protest in Washington, D.C., and then the White House burns. There was a lot of predictive programming that have been done for people showing the White House being torn down, Washington, D.C. in flames, all sorts of movies going by, showing this again and again and again. Now, again, with the Con Job 19 taking place and everyone in their homes and upset about losing jobs and losing the things that they've been working for, a lot of upset people, a lot of people that are want to get back at society. They may see this as the prime way of priming people to take action, right? But this is not the type of action that actually we want, right? We want to not lose control. We don't want to lose, everything that was built up, and that's what will happen if people start taking to the streets and destruction. War is not the answer. Peace is the answer. A peaceful, step-by-step approach at removing them and draining the swamp. All right, let's go on here. So how do they get this? How do they start this these riots? So here we have a news reporter. Here's a video of a news reporter who was caught playing gunshot noises on his phone during the broadcast to make it look worse than it is.
Destroyed a peaceful protest. Why did you do that? An innocent man died. He had a family. He had parents. And this is the truth. This man is part of us.
I walked past and I heard you repeating. That's why I can't.
You did that on purpose. You just destroyed it. You destroyed.
Yeah, so that more of that, you know, where this guy is caught, right? So here he is. Now the audio is really poor, can't really hear. All right, let's go on. So that's, you know, they have their people and the media all doing the talking points, all the CIA 4 a.m. talking points coming out, going across, and they repeat all exactly the same thing. And they're all been to the farm. They've all were grown out on the farm to harvest right now. That's what they want to do. What else are they doing? Well, this guy's saying, well, look, for what reason would you come and put a pallet of bricks that are perfect size for throwing?
This the setup.
They put them there on purpose,
Y'all know where
bro.
we at.
They gonna set them on right up on the route.
Y'all know what building this is
Come
right
on,
here.
now.
I ain't even gonna say what name it is.
Hey, where do them bricks go to? Where do
This
them
is
bricks go
setup.
to? Where do them
We
bricks
gotta
go to?
do better.
Ain't no
Gotta do better.
Ain't
Gotta
no
do
damn
better.
construction around here. I see. Ain't no damn construction around here. You just gonna set a pallet of bricks right there. Oh, okay.
Listen, I did jury duty 3 months ago. Y'all don't keep no bricks right there. Do better. This right here,
Yeah, they put them there
this
on
the
purpose.
setup.
They
The
put them there on purpose,
Y'all know where
bro.
we at.
They gonna
See, it's so obvious. We pick up on it so quick. We know that they're fake, and they're trying to set us up. Now, this is also how do you get people upset? How do you make people really upset? We know when we talk about the pedivores, the eating of the children makes everyone upset, right? So our children are our future. It's upsetting when we see children harmed. So let's look at this 1 minute of what they're doing to get people to riot. What are they squirting in her face? Look, they're squirting her in her face. Look at the guy with the red cross on his shirt there. What is he gonna do? He's pouring milk on his face, her face. I don't understand what this is, pouring milk on people's faces. Now they want to blame the police? Is that what this is all about? Again, disgusting. This guy says, idiots. Effing idiots. So, well, we have this Minneapolis woman checking white people for looting and asking them why they are doing it. Now, this is also interesting. It's 2 minutes of this.
I'm not making that.
I bought this like 3 hours ago. Put it down.
You know, fuck you buy that shit from. You ain't walking around with an unopened thing from 3 hours ago, bro. He ain't not buy that shit.
Bro, it makes it look bad. Think about the media. Think about what they're saying
He's
right
just
now.
confronting them, right? So let's go to the end
Tell me
here.
his name. Tell me his name, sir. Tell me his name. Tell me who you're out here for. Who are you looting? You're looting, and you're white. Who are you out here for?
Who are you out here for? She's asking. Who sent you?
Who are you out here for?
Who sent
Tell me
you?
who you're out here for. Who are you out here for? Tell me. Just tell me his name. Tell me his name. Tell me his name, sir. Tell me his name.
I didn't steal nothing.
Tell me the name of the man that you're out here for.
Yeah.
Tell me the name. Tell me his name. Tell me his name. Tell me his name.
Definitely not George Floyd.
This bitch ain't there. Hey.
So he says definitely not George Floyd. So he's not out there for George Floyd. Who is he out there for? All right, let's continue. Yeah, well, we covered this guy already, so let's keep going. Let's look right here. George Soros paid protester.
At one point, a woman sort of facetiously asked if there were any paid protesters in the house. And of course, everybody shouted no and groaned. But you stood up and indicated that you are a paid protester. What did you mean by that?
Well, I meant, like we all get paid to be,
No, I don't know. Please explain.
Well, it's a difficult thing to explain, but basically, anytime that you're given the opportunity to protest and somebody will pay you to do it, that's like twice as good as just doing it on your own time.
So you weren't kidding around. You actually meant that you have been paid at some point to protest?
Yeah, like
How can I get in on that?
Yeah, okay, so, go to, like, GeorgeSoros.com, and you just sign up right there. You put your name in, you put your email address, and there's an empty box there where you say how many times you're willing to protest and how much you want to get paid.
And you get a check directly from Soros.
Directly from Soros.
That's incredible.
Signed by him. He even invited me to lunch.
Does he sign it in blood?
He said if I'm willing to, like, gather some more friends, I can get paid like twice as much for every friend that I gather and kind of set up a pyramid scheme.
And you can get rich just based on protesting for Soros, right?
I already have, yeah. So basically, I've been organizing most of the protesting that you see in California so far, and it's all due to being paid. If I wasn't paid, I would be, like skiing.
Wow, this is unbelievable.
Yeah. I know. I just wish more people knew about it because then we could actually like start a movement.
Okay, thanks a lot, man.
Idiot. I wish more people would know about it because then we could start a movement. What is the movement you want to start? The destruction of the country? Go live in another country. You'll see what it's all about. All right, let's continue on down here. So, that's kind of the roundabout where we get around to what else is going on here, right? Well, this is talking about writing the algorithms for Twitter, right? So that they can basically decide what you're going to be banned or not banned doing. So we're fighting on different fronts. So we have the protests going on, right, from this fake event flag that came about, right? This fake event flag throws us all looking at this, and then they have paid protesters, paid rioters, people that are paid to go out and do these things. That police officer that was going around and banging those, breaking those windows, and then writing on the door, free stuff. Not stuff, but I substitute the word, and he's out there promoting vandalism. He's promoting theft. Is that a police officer? Sound like a good police officer? So there are bad police officers, no doubt, and if they're also going to be taking money like this protester, if we want to now start talking about it, right? We want to basically come at it. We're faced with shadow banning. All right? So we have to fight these things on all fronts. Again, back over to Parler. Please join me over on Parler. 13 followers and rising. Be part of it. Come over there. The link is down below in this video. And we also have, obviously, a new platform coming for our videos being worked on by Tank and Kim and the whole crew. So we're making our steps. You need to take some steps. I know we are accepting donations. There is at the Speak Project a way that you can donate for helping the platform get built out. And if you're really looking to help with making forward, I'm available to help you make your own YouTube channel. I will be available to help. Just ask me, right? And I'll even get you out, and we'll do one quick get out onto YouTube really quick video, right? It only takes 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, right? And then you've done it. You have it on your own YouTube channel. All you need is a Gmail account. That's it. You get a Gmail account, you have a YouTube account. All right. So, do I have anything else here? Well, yes, I do have two more things here. Flu bombshell. Dale Bigtree. Now, this is 6 minutes, and we're going to go ahead and play through the first part of this. But what this is, it's about vaccines and basically looking at the flu shot. So they're telling us we have to wait for the vaccine. We have to get the vaccine to prevent people from dying, right? So here's the flu bombshell.
Show you a stat that I hope blows your mind. If it doesn't, it's a really good sign that you've already died from COVID-19 and you are somehow living in the afterlife among us. Because this is the most shocking revelation of the week. Remember, CDC now says that COVID-19 has a death rate of 0.4% amongst those that show symptoms and are infected. If we add in the asymptomatic, which they're getting very conservatively low, at 35% are asymptomatic, then we come up with 0.26%. Now we're being told in the fall we're going to really start pushing a flu shot because we don't want to have flu and COVID-19 at the same time. People could die. We've got to push the flu shot and push it hard now.
To prevent death.
Let me show you something that we found inside of the Fluzone vaccine insert. Fluzone is one of the most popular. In fact, I understand it's the most popular flu vaccine in the country. I want to read the trials that exist right on their own insert for the safety of Fluzone. Get ready, folks. Grab your seatbelts. Hold on tight to your face mask. Here we go. Read this. In this study, adults 65, remember that's 65 years of age and older, were randomized to receive either Fluzone high dose or Fluzone regular, 2006 to 2007 formulation. A total of 23 deaths were reported during days 29 through 180 post-vaccination. Here we go. 16 or 0.6% among Fluzone high dose recipients and 7 among the low dose, which is 0.6% among Fluzone recipients. The majority of these participants had a medical history of cardiac, hepatic, neoplastic, renal, and or respiratory diseases. So they had other comorbidities. Exactly the group I keep talking about. And as if you thought that's the only study, right? Well, Dallas, just one study. But do you see that? 0.6% we accept as a death rate for our own flu shot. 0.6%. They did another study just to make sure we didn't get it wrong. Study 2 was a multi-center, double-blind, post-licensure efficacy trial conducted in the U.S. and Canada over 2 influenza seasons. In this study, adults 65 years of age and older were randomized to receive either Fluzone high dose or Fluzone regular. The majority of these participants had one or more chronic comorbid illnesses. A total of 167 deaths were reported with 6 to 8 months post-vaccination. 83 or 0.5% amongst the high dose recipients and 84 or 0.5% among flu zone recipients. And a total of 6 deaths reported within 30 days post-vaccination, which was 6 of them died at 0.04% among flu zone high-dose recipients and 0.0. That's down the road. But look at that, 0.5, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. Wait a minute. I thought we were supposed to be locked down if we have death rates at 0.26. And the very product that you are pushing on America to save us is more deadly.
More deadly.
That's right. Flu zone is more deadly than coronavirus.
There you go. More deadly. And this is what happens with vaccines. This baby having seizures.
Ooh. Come on, darling.
After vaccination.
My son, 7-month-old, he's having a seizure. No. 16 Byron Place. Yeah. Ashington. Yeah, ME63 9MD.
So they're forcing all these vaccines on the babies before they even have an immune system that they're supposed to be kicking into high gear and stacking these vaccines and getting them all done at one time. And they don't have any immune system to kick into gear. That they say that the reason why they have these adjutants is to kick the immune system into gear. They don't have one yet. They haven't crawled around and eaten any dirt so that their body can react to it and develop immunity. So what's more important? You know, let's wrap this up by realizing that there are things that are more important. I'm going to skip ahead here to what is the reason Trump is here in the first place. Because we have to save our children for the future. We have to stop this insanity of vaccinations. All the evidence points to it being more harmful than the things that they say that they're trying to stop. They're adding cancer, sickle cell anemia, heavy metals, all sorts of cancerous items to the vaccines for the reason of what? Agitating the immune system to kick it into high gear? The flu's not enough of an adjutant? You're injecting flu into the body? It's not enough? Your whole premise is stupid. And to have those things happen to our children, where they go through these seizures because they stacked them up because the doctors went ahead and said it was, or we're told it's safe. And who has immunity? The pharmaceutical industry has immunity. What are the doctors doing? Paying higher and higher insurance rates so they can just practice medicine. It's so high that they literally have to be absorbed into these large hospitals so that they don't have to pay the insurance because it's too high. Eliminating doctors that can act independently. They're taking everything from us. So we have to know what they're doing and then realize. And we're catching. Look at those young guys. Look at the bricks on the street. How long did it take them to basically, hey, bricks on the street, set up, all right? Set up. We're catching them right away. Right away, we're catching them. I'm glad we have President Trump out there right in the front. from the beginning, he said we're going into space. We're going to basically take back what was shut down under Obama. And let's listen and see what he has to tell us about what's happening. Because this is really where we're going.
Earlier this week, I saw the Orion capsules being worked on in this building as part of the Artemis Moon to Mars program. Those capsules will soon return Americans to lunar orbit for the first time in over 50 years, half a century. By 2024, our astronauts will return to the lunar surface to establish a permanent presence and the launching pad to Mars. And the first woman on the moon will be an American woman, and the first nation to land on Mars will be the United States of America.
The first nation to land. Because we are on Mars already. NASA photos have shown, installations on Mars. Massive installations. Not like a capsule landing. No. Buildings, roads, antennas, vehicles. That's already been leaked out through NASA from NASA's website, right? Well, these images got through. Somehow these images tend to get through. There's some people on the inside that say we gotta get some information out there. So massive amount of information that they slip things through. So we're there, but he's saying the first nation, because who's there right now is the cabal, the deep state. That's why they think that they're so powerful. Their network encompasses inside our planet, on the surface of our planet, and into the stars and into other planets. But they wanted to keep this herd under control. Let's continue.
Since I signed the order to establish these goals shortly after taking office, we have made rapid gains. A new 22,000-pound capsule is already built. The next generation of spacesuits are already made. Colossal rockets are now being tested. And the contracts for 3 separate lunar landers have been awarded and signed, and they are magnificent. In the years ahead, America will go bigger, bolder, further, faster, and America will go first. America will always be first.
Bravo.
To be certain, we will meet the adversity and hardship along the way. There may even be tragedy, because that is the danger of space. There's nothing we can do about that. The power that we're talking about is unrivaled. Nothing we can do about problems. We'll have very few of them. We will confront all of those challenges, knowing that the quest for understanding is the oldest and deepest hope in our souls. The innate human desire to explore and innovate is what propels the engines of progress and the march of civilization. We will preserve and persevere, and we will ensure a future of American dominance in space. To that end, over the last 3 years, I reestablished the National Space Council. I issued a directive cutting red tape for innovative space companies such as SpaceX. We created the world's first comprehensive space traffic management system. Last month, I signed an executive order establishing U.S. policy for the recovery and use of space resources and minerals. Administrator Bridenstine announced the Artemis Accords, to govern the future of space exploration and development. Together, we will assert America's rightful heritage as the greatest spacefaring nation on the planet, and already it's not even close. In the half a century since the United States stopped sending astronauts to deep into space, 1972, no other country has ever done it. The reasons are simple: cost, technological complexity, and tremendous danger.
Yeah, no other countries, right? And the reason is the cost. When you have the printing press, right, and the black budgets, and you can siphon money off into these things by the trillions, you can build quite a underground architecture, and you can build a lot of things on the moon. You know, do you think that we really didn't build after the Apollo missions? We just stopped. I mean, there was rockets going up all the time. They said, "Oh, for this satellite or that satellite," but how many people kept tabs on everything that was going up? And what happened when it was up there? No one could see. Anyway, so this is where we're going, and I would like to thank President Trump for everything that he's doing. Sorry, just try to grab the wrong one there. There we go. And I would like everyone to realize that though we have trying times, that we have people in our midst that are going to cause problems because they're paid to do so, like that one paid protester by Soros. Guy's pretty clueless. You know, he'd rather be skiing. Okay, great, go skiing. But if he can be paid to form a group of people and get rich off of it, he can get a movement. But what's the movement all about? Skiing? No, destroying the freedoms with some ideas of getting everything for free. The lure of socialism, communism. And in the end, that you end up being enslaved, even more than we are already. The world is ready for the change. The people have stood up and are pointing it out, and we know what's going on. We're not, you know, the mainstream media has lost its narrative. People are not watching it. Yeah, they're out there. They're a well-oiled machine without money and running out, and they're going bankrupt. Yes, they are. They're going bankrupt. The newspapers, like Trump says, the only one keeping them in the Washington, I'm sorry, well, probably the Washington Times, but the New York Times is Trump, right? If they didn't have him there, they wouldn't be selling any newspapers. But, you know, the other CNN, MSNBC, their audience is shrinking. We are the news now. We are making the difference. We're creating the reality. And we're weaving the reality of abundance for all. No difference between different colors or heights or weights. We're here to make a better planet for all of us. And let's go out and do it. Until tomorrow, please subscribe, give thumbs ups, positive comments, join me on Parler, and we'll see you then.